Looking to start an FM20 save with Chelsea and I've absolutely no idea where to start. Well, this is the sort of content for you. Hello there everyone, I am Toby from TIJ Gaming. Welcome to my Football Manager 2020 team guide for Chelsea. This is going to be an interesting one because of course Chelsea have a transfer embargo on the game. It's until the 1st of February 2020, which basically means the club isn't signing anyone till July next year, which makes things very, very interesting and means that you have to put up with the squad that you've got for a year. Before we get into the squad, though, let's have a look at the main new feature on the game, or one of the main features at least, which is a club vision. So we want to have a look at what get my words right. We want to have a look at what the club want us to do in the next 5 years, part of the plan. So we've got quite a few bits to attain in our club culture. That is to play attacking football. That is required. So they want to have the days of Mourinho being far gone. They don't want any defensive football being played anymore. They want to make sure that they are playing good attacking football, good positive football. And as it says there, play entertaining football and play possession football. Again, attacking football being required, a 4 out of 4 importance. Play possession football, pretty important. But play entertaining football, not so much. Got a few bits that are favoured as well, so it doesn't matter if you don't do these. But again, it's kind of the culture of the club. Again, not the culture club, but the culture of the club. But develop players using the club's youth system and sign players under the age of 22. That's something that the club would like you to do. But as part of a 5-year plan, there's 2 requirements, which I'm not surprised with Chelsea. Sign young players to develop for profit. Yeah, that's what Chelsea have done for years, and interesting that they're going to continue that. And also to work within the wage budget, which pretty much is exactly what all teams that I've done so far have done. It's not really a surprise, and there's plenty of wages to see there. Another £800,000 a week, as well as a transfer budget of £120 million. But of course, you aren't going to be able to use that transfer budget for another 12 months anyway. And also, maximum 1-year contracts, players over the age of 30. That's a pretty big importance, so just make sure that you keep to that as well. So, 2 competitions being really important. Those are the Champions League and the Premier League. Now, pretty tough. These expectations are to reach the quarter-final of the Champions League. You get to the last 16 if you get through the group stage. So you've got to get through that as a minimum to get to the quarter-final. And also to get into the top 4 of the Premier League. I think that's something that's going to be tough, especially for Chelsea. I'm quite surprised with the way that Frank Lampard started in real life. Because if you look at that Chelsea squad, obviously the main man, Eden Hazard, has gone. There's other individuals that are really talented, but there are weak spots in the Chelsea squad. So qualifying for the Champions League, you might find it a breeze, you might find it a real struggle, but Roman Abramovich said this is a requirement to retain what Chelsea did last year. Super Cup's not important, even though that's only 1 game. EFL Cup's not important, but they would like you to reach the final of the FA Cup, but that's only a preferred requirement. So I'd focus definitely on the Champions League and Premier League over anything else, which you would anyway. And then in the next few years, you've got a challenge for silverware and challenge for the Premier League title. And in 5 years, the club would prefer you to win the Premier League. So nothing too stringent in terms of expectations for the years going forward, which is good. I think that the club are looking for you to impress in the first 12 months. But after that, just to have consistency, I think, is what Chelsea are looking for. Because I think in the last few years, I think it's fair to say that Chelsea, obviously they had that 10th place finish, but they have very much been up and down. Winning the league in 2016, winning the league in 2015, winning the league in 2017, if I get that right. It was the 2016-17 season. But it's been very much up and down over the years, winning the league, and then they kind of go down and come back up. So they want a manager who's going to be in for the long haul, I think, and that is completely acceptable. So let's have a look at the transfers in and out. This one won't take long in terms of the transfers in and out. They've been able to bring in Mateo Kovacic. He was announced earlier as a £40 million signing as a central midfielder. Very important central midfielder alongside N'Golo Kante. Just bolsters that midfielder a little bit, and he's a leading player for most Premier League sides. So a price tag of £40 million. I wouldn't say it's a bargain, but certainly a good price for him. He was on loan at Chelsea last year, so has got experience already, and has been bought by the club after that from Real Madrid. Jorginho, oh God. How do you say his name now? Jorginho, that's right. Is it Jorginho or Jorgi? I don't know. I think it's Jorginho. He's one of our midfielders as well, along with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I'll tell you what, I just cannot find the words today. Very bizarre. But anyway, yeah, he's the only signing in. The big signing that, of course, has gone out is Eden Hazard. He's gone to Real Madrid for £90 million. It's going to be a big hole that you've got to fill. And, of course, you can't. You've got to fill it with youngsters because Chelsea have been given a transfer ban. So, on the back of that, let's have a look at what team I would suggest to play with Chelsea. Now, that team doesn't look too bad. We've gone with a formation of a 4-1-4-1, a formation that I think is going to be pretty popular this year, because a lot of clubs now have got their defensive midfielders, they've got the wide players, they've got the solid midfielders, and really this is the only tactic that encapsulates all of those qualities within a team. So we've got a Balaga in goal, that's expected. Your back four is pretty much expected as well. Aspilicueta, Christensen, Kurt Zouma and Marcus Alonso. Of course, you've got your other defenders. You've got Rudiger, who can come in, but he's injured for the next 5 to 7 months, so not at the moment. But maybe for Kurt Zouma, he might be coming in the future when he comes back. We've got Tomori. He's a 21-year-old Englishman. He can play on right back or centre back, so a bit of depth at the back as well. You've also got, of course, who else have you got at the back? You've got Emerson as well, and you've got Reece James. So you've got plenty of comfort at the back, so that's good to see, but unfortunately you've got a bit of an injury crisis at the back. So those four are really going to be the defenders who you're playing at the start of the season, with a bit of rotation with Tomori coming in there as well. Your defensive midfield figure I was talking about earlier is going to be your Jorginho. Again, he's the solid defensive midfielder. N'Golo Kante and Kovacic are as good as him, but I think he's the best player to go into that deep line playmaker role as a defensive player. Then we've got our remaining two midfielders, N'Golo Kante and Kovacic. Again, Loftus-Cheek might be your preferred option, but he is out for 2 to 4 months, so that's not going to be an option for a while yet. On the wings, again, I think you'd expect this, really. We've got Willian and Pedro. Of course, you've got Ross Barkley, who can go in the central midfield, or a cam. And you've got Pulisic, who the club have also bought in, of course. They bought him in 57 million last year and went back on loan to Dortmund. So he's not classed as a new signing, although he technically is, because he hasn't played a game for Chelsea yet. He'll be a very interesting signing. But I think for the start of the season, I would go with Willian and Pedro, with maybe room to move Pulisic in if one of those players is not performing. But that's pretty much the squad. We've got Tammy Abraham, of course, up front with a rotational option with Olivier Giroud. You're looking at advanced forward, really, for Tammy Abraham. But with Giroud, probably a target man figure on support. And that means that you can just push these wingers onto attacking roles, I'd probably say. In terms of if you've got a supporting striker, it works both ways. If you've got an attacking striker like Abraham, I'd push the wingers back to be more of a supporting role. And Abraham more of an attacking role. I think that makes sense, just to make sure that there's enough defensive cover and that you aren't all too attacking. So let's have a quick look as well at the dynamics of the team who you really want to keep happy. And those are your three main players. You've got Aspilicueta, the captain, Willian and Pedro. Now, it's important to note that Chelsea don't currently have a vice-captain. I'm assuming that must have been Hazard before he left the club. Was it? Yeah, I think he was the vice-captain. I don't think he was the captain. But yeah, Willian and Pedro. And as with all of these team guides, we've found that one of these players is going to reach the end of their career, and that is Pedro. So it's not going to be for a while yet, to be fair. But with a pool of youngsters coming through, there's a real chance for one of the youngsters to shine through as a very highly influential player. But you've got players like Kante, it seems. You've got Tammy Abraham and Loftus-Cheek, who have stepped up to the plate already. But I don't think you've got many problems in terms of dynamics. Of course, no new faces coming into the club in the next 12 months. So that's going to be an important thing, just to make sure that your squad stays happy, because at the end of the day, you can't change it for 12 months. So you've got to keep that atmosphere, because you can't surf over anybody out. Well, you can sell people, but you can't bring people in, and that is going to be very important. But finally, let's have a quick look, because of course we can't do any transfer suggestions on this video, because we can't do anything for the next 12 months. But in terms of the development sense, this is going to be a very important screen, especially with the club vision that they would like you to sign players under the age of 22, develop players using the club youth system, as also sign those young players to make a profit. So let's look at how your youngsters are getting on. We get to this screen. As you can see, we've got a lot of players here, the ones to watch. You've got 5 players here, as well as first team candidates, Ethan Impadu and Kennedy, who could all become star players. So we've got a very strong under-23 squad. As you can see, a lot of them ready for first team opportunities. So I wouldn't worry too much with Chelsea, to be honest, because they have got the transfer ban, but they've got a lot of youngsters. They've done well to stockpile youngsters over the years, and thank God they have, because they've got a bit of depth, and other clubs would be snookered in this situation. They really would. They wouldn't be able to fight for the top 6 anyway. It'd be an absolute disaster. But let's see how you get on with Chelsea. I'd love to know how you get on with Chelsea in the comments. I think out of the top 6 clubs, it is definitely the biggest challenge. A, with that transfer ban, so you can't put your own style on the club. But B, you've lost Eden Hazard. He's a real. He was a lone figure at Chelsea, wasn't he? Really, he was the star player. But that squad, to be fair, that first 11 isn't too shabby at all. But let me know how you get on with Chelsea. I'm interested to see how you get on. Of course, if you've got any other comments to make about Chelsea, any queries, or anything to add to the Chelsea discussion on FM20, please feel free to leave it down in the comments. But if you have enjoyed that or found it beneficial, make sure to leave a like down below and comment your thoughts and subscribe for daily FM20 content on the beta. Also make sure to check out any of the content on the end screen. We've got all the team guides in a playlist now, as well as my beta save Liverpool if you are interested in that. But for now, thank you very much for your company, and I'll see you guys in the next team guide. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.